No? It's so dark. Because it's all so bright. I got some water. I got some tea. I think I got this right. Okay. Shh. Quiet. It's so noisy out there. Nothing's happening yet, huh? Okie dokie. Didn't you hang there for a second? Boo! Nobody's home. Let's see if we can scare some people up here. Let's say boo. Howdy, Lips Bunny. Good to see you. So we got someone else in the house. They're slowly showing up. How you doing? Good to see you. I was going to try and do this from my phone, but I didn't quite figure out how to do it, so I had to go back to my computer and just go with the messy background again. I was trying to make it a little bit more professional for this first official live, and didn't quite get there yet, so that's okay. We'll figure it out. It'll all come around. Oh, it's good to have you guys here anyways. Oh, I got my water and I got some tea. Gotta have everything. Be ready for it. How you guys doing today? You having a good one? Yep. Doing good? Ecocentric homestead. Love Surf Bunny. Oh, in the house. Somebody else is here too. I see 4 online. 4 online. Who's here? Are you drinking tea? I'm about to. It's a little bit hot still. So I'm going to chill out first, and then I'll get there. Yeah, not quite there yet. Professional just means it's your profession. Yeah, I guess there is something to that. I mean, this is kind of my profession, not YouTube itself, but I am an actor and all that. So, hey, you know, I figured we'd give a minute or two before we start digging into these guys and see who shows up here. Hopefully we'll get another person or two. It says 4. Who's our 4? Who are you? Hello, Liz Brusso. Yep, that's about the same here, man. It's super hot today. 40 Celsius, probably close to that. I mean, it's also on my little thing here, I got Fahrenheit on. Ah! I meant to do that. It says that it's now 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Can I change the mode and have it say what the actual... Nope, okay. I was hoping I could like just quickly change it and say, oh, look, it's Celsius. Because I don't know the exact changes yet myself. So, hey, you know, it's all part of the fun. Good to see you, Carrie L. How you doing? Welcome to the fun house. Woo! We are here to enjoy ourselves and talk a little bit about the Orchid update. Primarily going to go into Fred. I need to go grab Fred, actually, and bring him on over. And then we've got a couple other things happening with some of the other orchids we need to talk about as well. And then go into some of the herbs which you can't see because it's so blindingly light back there right now. Because it's that hot. You guys are at 95 Fahrenheit? Woo! That's why it's 40 Celsius. I figure we're more. I thought we were more like 32 Celsius. If I remember the scales right, is where roughly where you are. Yeah. Humidity here is around 38. Yeah. Very hot day. It's one of the hottest days in England so far this year. And it's supposed to stay that way, I think, tomorrow as well. Maybe the next day too. But it's cool over there in Canada and Alberta. Oh, lucky you. I'm gonna let that tea steep just a little bit longer. I like to go nice and long on that. Howdy, Stan. Good to see you. Yeah. If you guys have seen any of my tea videos, you know I tend tea is a very relative thing, and I think that's something people will definitely always say like, oh, there's this tea, and on any bag teas you'll find they'll be say like, oh, you should steep it at this temperature for this amount of time, which really is poppycock because it depends on your preference. Um, if you like a little tea that's lighter, then what you're going to do is you're going to steep it for a shorter time, and you're just going to enjoy it lighter. If you like it, really robust, then you'll probably steep it a bit longer. I mean, there's exceptions to that where if you've got a herb that's a lot hardier, that you can't let it go for too long, and it will just get bitter. But if it can steep like an herbal tea like I have here, which is some lemon balm, hyssop, and a little bit of spearmint, it can pretty much just go steep, 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 steep. I could let that sit in there for 10, even 20 minutes, and it'll still taste just fine. So, it's all relative. Have the tea the way you want to have the tea. And that's all that matters, baby. As long as you're enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Thank you. I am the tea whisperer. Says it's 87 over where Carrie's at. Woo! Yeah, a lot of people getting the heat except for Liz. Liz isn't getting the heat. Sorry, Liz. Wish you could get you some heat. And by the way, since we're here, if you guys haven't checked each other out yet, you should, because y'all are cool channels, and I love Liz and all of her YouTube tips. I do watch a few other people, but because I always am looking for different angles. But I love Liz's angle and the way she takes things. She definitely has different ideas from a lot of the other YouTubers that throw out videos out there. Because a lot of times you'll watch the YouTubers and they'll say the exact same things time and time again, like, "Oh, you need to have good thumbnails. Oh, you need to have this," and it's like, well, that's true, yes. There's other things that can make it easier in the world of marketing that I have no idea about until I find out from someone else, because that's not my natural thing. I'm not a natural, marketer. Or I'm not a natural person who knows how to promote things along those lines. So check Liz out. You can check Ecocentric Homestead out. I just watched one of his videos the other day. Stan's got some stuff out there. Carrie's got some stuff. Love Surf Bunny. You love bunnies. There you go, baby. Bunny time. Get some bunny time. Woo! All right. Where are we at here? We got enough people. I am going to grab my orchids. Don't you go anywhere. I'll be right back. Whoa! Haha. That didn't take long at all, did it? Okay. So I'm going to start off here with Fred. And Fred, you'll see, is actually just in a saucer right now, or you could call it a ramekin even. And what I am doing is I tried to put him in a terrarium. For those of you who aren't quite sure what a terrarium is it's either just a glass case. In the old days, they called them Wardian cases, is the cases that they used to actually travel orchids across the country with. But no, the terrarium is basically anything that just kind of creates a humidity chamber in order to keep the moisture in, because Fred was severely dehydrated and needs more water. But what I've done is I started off trying to just spray him and do some other things along those lines. What I ended up doing right now that seems to be holding him is I kind of just put a little bit of water at the bottom there. You see it sloshing around in there. And try and get the light over here a little bit better. Here you go. Light. The light's not. Come on, cord. There you go. There's some light. Okay. And he's just, the leaf is actually sitting in the water along with a couple of the roots, which may sound weird, but when he's completely dehydrated, it actually helps keep him, they keep him retaining that moisture and helps out. I mean, I could essentially keep turning him around. All that matters is as long as he still is getting water coming in, you can even spray him down from time to time. The reason it works with having the leaf down is it's just the leaf that's in the water. As long as it's not getting into the crown here, that's when it'll just kill him. So I can put the leaf in there as long as it's not going and dunking the crown or the cops. They're always behind us trying to make sure we're doing our orchids right. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with Fred right now. He's doing okay. He's got a couple of new roots hiding in there. So there's a couple of new ones, a couple of small ones that are hopefully growing still. I mean, just have to keep a close eye and see as they develop. So Fred's still hanging on, still doing his thing, and hopefully he'll just keep regrowing now that he's stuck there. And I'll hopefully get him back into some medium. I did get some of these clay pellets, the leca as they're called, and I have put a couple on just these. But what I want to do is I'm probably going to end up, even though I repotted them this year, I'm probably going to try and maybe repot them again next year into full leca. But here's Fred's twin, George, and he's doing a little bit better. As you can see, he's got some really nice green roots there at the top that are just popping up. This one's a little bit dying, but lots of other really good roots right there at the top. Yeah, ooh, there you go. Nice and bright. You can see some brand new ones, brand new roots coming out, and you can see the green at the tip, which means it's a lively, thriving green root. Very good to have. Very happy about that. So yes, woohoo! Yay, the tea is working. All right. So that's Fred and George, the twins. I don't suspect that if he does, I'll be happy because I'll just be darn lucky. He does have a new leaf coming in as well. I'm just noticing that. You can see it in there, right there. New leaf. It's right there in the sneaking out. Very small at the moment, but there is a new leaf coming out on George. Yeah! Woohoo! Leaf party dance. So George is doing really well, much better than his twin brother here. And hopefully Fred will catch up eventually. Let's go over to Ginny first. Ginny, after the orchid repot, is severely off balanced. You can see, look at that, how she's hanging right off the edge here. She's not going up. She's really hanging off the edge, which is fine because, I mean, I could even essentially put her outside and get rainwater, and it's not necessarily going to go in the crown because the more they're on an angle, the more it's kind of like their natural habitat. They're all that's where the way they are in the wild is they usually attach to trees, and that's why when they're in the wild, they generally don't have to worry about water getting in the crown because it kind of just flows out, and the crown is more facing down and doesn't collect the water in it. So pretty easy. But as you can see here, look at that. That's a lovely new flower stem. Yeah, flower stem. Woo! And there's some new roots as well coming out. One hiding in the midst here. It's hiding. You can't see it very well. But obviously he's got tons of great roots. And this is actually a good thing for a Phalaenopsis, is seeing all of these massive air roots. Yeah, there's a couple that are ugly, but that again is because of the repot and the shock that's caused by it. So there's nothing bad about that at all. It's just, something they'll have to hack them off. I'm just very happy to see her with this stem coming out. And this is perfectly normal because Ginny always comes in later than the other guys do. It's always been the flowering cycle has always been Ollie first, and then the twins might come in after that, and then Ginny will come in last. So that's why I'm not expecting to see either one of the little Phalaenopsis get any flowers this year. So, yeah. Oh, there we go. I just had to get close enough for the camera for it to get bright enough on me again. There we go. All right. Everybody doing good? Fred is still green. He has had us a chance. Yes. You had to say goodbye to one of yours? Oh, no. Too baked. Got too baked in the sun, did it? No. No. That's not good. Okay. I'm about to show you the wonder of Ollivander here. Now, you'll see two interesting things happening here. And I'll mention that right after I address Liz's question about is it true to give orchids 1 ice cube a week? The answer is hell no. Don't do it. Because you can for a short period of time because it can kind of essentially regulate the water. But you can do that with just a good soil medium by properly just wetting them down thoroughly once a week. All the same. So if you're going to be doing it just once a week anyways, you may as well do it properly with just some good water than actually doing it with the ice, because the ice over time can actually, essentially burn the roots or damage the roots because they aren't used to that cold. They are a tropical plant. So yes, what you're going to do is depending on the soil medium you have, you can essentially just load a bunch of water in through the top of the roots, not into the leaves at all, because then it's in danger of going into the crown. You only want to have it hit the roots and hit the soil medium. So when I water them, I'll just water it up through here and let it flow down through the rest. And then what you'll do is kind of just let go into the bottom here and sit in that for like 30 minutes. And some people actually go even further. They'll dunk them. Yeah, like Carrie says, you actually can take it and put it in a container that goes all the way up here and dunk it fully in water, let it sit in there 15 minutes to half an hour, and then pull it out and let it drain, and that'll cover it for the week. So yeah, it depends on your medium, depends on how you like to do it. I mean, I'll give them a little spray a couple times a week, depending on how hot it is, to help the roots make sure they're still getting some water. But yeah, that's the most legitimate ways to go about doing it. Get a little bit of dirt on them here. I'm going to get off. Whoa. But as you can see, Ollie is doing really good for the most part. His leaves are looking really strong, powerful leaves. They're in good shape. Feeling solid. This one is maybe a little bit more leathery. But then there's this one. Oh no! Completely a different color. Look at that. And this is actually not unexpected at all. I was completely surprised this didn't happen earlier, because Ollie is traditionally a 4-leaf plant. I've had him for 8 years, and every single year he's pretty much stuck with just having 4 leaves. And this is the first year that he had 5 leaves for the longest time. So I was like going, wow, okay, you're gonna go 5 leaves this year. Cool. All right, good job, Ollie. And then finally, as his flowers have started desiccating here, and you can see that right there, hidden by the leaf. You can see right there that one flower is starting to go bad. You can see how the stem there is white. And there it goes. Live for you on camera. Flowers falling. Oh no, help me. Yeah, so that when you see it turning white like that on the stem, you know it's dying, it's about to fly. You can also tell you can see and see if the light will change there for you. I'm going to put Ollie down for a second so I can get the light on this. But there you go. You can see the veininess of it compared to the regular ones. You know, get a little extra light on you. Grr. You can, but you can. This is why I need to set up my phone camera so I can get much better resolution for you. But he gets inside here. You can see it becoming much veinier, much softer. Whereas if you look at the regular leaves here, they still look solid throughout. You don't see stop any veininess happening here throughout the leaves. It's all just very solid still, very white. But Ollie tends to keep his flowers for a long time, usually 2 up to 3 months. And this is, I think, the third flower that's fallen now off of this stem. And these other ones, I'm sure, will turn like this very soon. The bottom one looks like it's got a touch of this on there. Yeah, trying to get in there really close. Focus, focus. And yeah, it's but this is completely normal. Come back, focus on me. Give me the light. Give me the light. Camera's weird that way. Oh, hello. Welcome to the Orchid Hour. Yeah, it's haphazard lighting day today because I was setting up. In case you guys missed it, I was setting up earlier to actually try and do the tripod and everything over on the desk there, so I could have this wonderful light coming in from over there. Instead, I'm now completely backlit and doing my best to add a little bit of light on me and try and make it work. Animal Papa, how you doing, brother? Haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hairdressing mister. Yeah, that's a good way to use it. Anything that gives you a good little misting for the roots, that's fine. Let's set that down. But yeah, one more time going back to this. What you can do when you got a leaf that's going like this, and this is a normal progression of the leaf just wanting to fall off. What I'll do is I'll just kind of check it and give it a little bit of a wiggle. And when it's ready to come off, I'll take it off naturally. You can cut it off just fine if you want to, just to make it look prettier. But I prefer just letting it wait to come off naturally and just pop it off. The main difference is that it's the plant itself doing the surgery this way. Okay, so if I just pull it off naturally, it's the plant going, okay, I'm done with it. I don't need it anymore. If you do it the other way and cut it, you better make sure that you put those scissors in some alcohol and make sure they're properly sterilized, because anytime you cut it, you risk the chance of infection. And I just say, rather not risk the chance of infection and let the flower, that extra leaf stay on there just a little bit longer. It won't be much longer at all before this thing comes off. I mean, it really only started turning like a week and a half ago, and now it's already that yellow. I mean, it's that fast of a natural progression. So it'll be less than a month before it falls off. So it's not that big a deal, really. Oh, that's good. Talking about water, was always told 2 ice cubes a week. Oh, you missed the ice cube thing. Ah! Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, and I'll just do a quick reprise. I don't, as many big orchid growers do not do the ice thing, because orchids are tropical plants, and over a long period of time of doing that, it can actually hurt the roots. So depending on how you do it, you can kind of get away with it, but really it's best not to do that and find out, and just figure out a better way depending on the medium that you have, how to balance out that water so it lasts the week. I only water mine once a week and have done that for ages, and they've all done fine until Fred had his little problem, and I had to turn him into Mr. Frankenstein orchid here in order to bring him back from the dead. So yeah, it's best just to kind of learn what's best for your medium, and it depends on what zone you're in, because if you're in an extra hot location, you probably can use sphagnum moss in there to help retain the water moisture. If you're in a cooler place that has more humidity, leca or just thick orchid bark is all you're going to need for it to last the week. So it just depends on where you're at, really. Hi, Weird Heather. How you doing? So we got outdoors for adventure and Weird Heather's Garden here. Woohoo! Good to see everyone. How you doing today? It's an orchid party right now. Do 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 do. Woohoo! All right. So I have now gone through my 4 orchids. Oh, and I'm running over my wife's temp drawings over here. So I better move those out of the way so she doesn't hurt me. So you have 2 orchids. What kind of orchids do you have outdoors for adventure? Are they phalaenopsis like all of mine are, or do you have like some vandas or something else? Got to go. The chickens are whinging. Oh no! Can't have whinging chickens. That's just not going to last, is it? Hopefully you can come back soon. Thanks for dropping by, Carrie. Yeah, so that's everything with my orchids. You guys have any other orchid questions before we start talking some herbs and stuff here? We got herbs to talk about still. Yeah, that was the second half of the program if you read the title card. Herb chat live. Oh, that's good. Okay. Who should we go to first? Oh, before we go to the herbs, anybody who was here from my last live chat saw this, but for those who haven't, I'm going to bring them over and show you something here. Okay. Woo! All right. This is, for those who don't know, is my platycodon flower, or otherwise known as a balloon flower. And man, is he hot right now. I picked it up, and this is actually warm, which I gave these guys a real heavy watering this morning because I knew they were going to get pretty hot today and just soak it up. But the last time I was on the session last week, I showed everybody how these guys are just ones you deadhead. So I can actually do that for you right now because I got a couple that need to be deadheaded. So this is what they end up looking like once they start wilting. And all you do is you just kind of take it and take it at the base here and just pop, just like that. Pop it on off. And that allows these other ones to start growing out. You see how here he's got one that's ready to want to pop out. This guy's ready to expand out. And so is this one. Is getting really close to wanting to burst out as well. And with the platycodons, there's another one here I can just pop off as well. This guy here. Get back into the center of the frame. There you go. We'll just pop him off as well. And that's important that you do that because that allows new ones to grow out. And similar like the orchids, these flowers will just keep coming out for another month or two. And you'll just keep getting some new buds popping out. So even though there's, besides those 2 big ones there aren't any other small new ones at the moment, he should still get a couple of new ones popping out here. So yeah, Percy should definitely start seeing some other new ones coming up besides these 2 that are about to open. But yeah, this is exactly typical for what happens. This is the middle stage here where you can see it starting to get those little white spots on it. And the whole leaf is kind of hanging over now and going, ooh, kind of sad. But that's just perfectly normal for the platycodon like this. So yeah. But what's not normal is this. Look at how tall this guy is. When I first got him, he was a lot shorter, and the first couple of years I had worked with him, it was the same thing that I got like 2 or 3 stems that would come out, and they would be only about this high. This is the first year he decided, I'm just going to give you 1 stem, and it's going to be monster stem. What? Yeah, comes all the way down to my chest. Look at that. That's impressive. Woo! So that's the platycodon. Oh, what did I got on over here? Okay. Yeah, let's grab this guy. Ta-da! So herbs, yes, lovely herbs. Hmm. Oh, some of which I am drinking right now. That's a one of the big reasons I grow a lot of these is so I can actually just have lots of good tea. Um, I'm going to try and adjust this down here so I can get some better light. Not enjoying seeing how dark I am right now. Oh, look at that, extra light. Helps a little bit. It's hard when I'm battling that in the background, so doing my best to not look like I'm some, evil mastermind sitting back here. Not that I'm not, as far as you know. Okay. Um, but yeah, the we do use the herbs in our food as well, especially like the cilantro. We like to make lots of different Mexican foods, so we'll just you cut it off fresh and just put it right on things like chili or fajitas or beans, different things like that. And cilantro works great for all those things, or coriander for those of you over here in Britain. Um, yeah, it's a great versatile one in that way, but it doesn't work so good in the tea. And I love basil as well, so I got a truckload of different basils back here right now. Bunch of this sweet basil, your standard, and then I've got some long leaf basil. I got some cinnamon basil back there, and my Tulsi basil, which is thriving for the first time. Yay! Look at those big guys slowly coming out. I could probably even I've cut a bunch of them out of here because seeing how small this pot is, it really can only have so many in here without it encouraging the growth. If I didn't cut more of these out, they wouldn't grow as fast. So I mean, I could probably go in here and go, okay, here's some smaller ones, and cut some of those out too to encourage the other ones to grow, which is perfectly normal. I mean, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stems in here. For one little pot, that's a lot of stems. That is way too many stems. So um, I probably, yeah, I probably should, for this tiny size pot, end up, with maybe 4 stems in there. But it is still very healthy. Yes, thank you, Love Surf Bunny. It is very healthy. Here, come to the light. Ooh. Spotlight. Spotlight on the Tulsi. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. And it's the same thing. It's just what I like to do with these guys. I like to put lots in there because it always looks pretty when you first started off with lots of these in there. But then you just have to kind of go, okay, time to cut some out. Unfortunately, but that's the way it rolls. But each one of these guys are slightly different. If any of you guys like to try and grow any, hey, my goat shed life, how you doing? Good to see you. So if any of you guys try and grow any herbs, most of them are in the same range roughly, where they like it slightly warmer. So you don't want to plant them too early in the season. Like over here in Britain, I try to do them in March, and they usually don't do very well at all. So I usually have to try and wait to push more towards April in order for them to work. Unless you're going to have them inside, then maybe it'll work. But even here in my windowsill, it can still get plenty cold. So you generally, unless you're going to have them somewhere where you have them heat protected, and it's at least room temperature, they're not going to do as well. And they also like a good amount of light, but depending on the types, so like basil generally isn't a big direct light kind of lover. Okay. So, and I think that's true for pretty much every basil. It doesn't like having too much in its face light. There are some that can get away with that. I think the peppermint can get away with a little bit more of the in the face light. And who else over there can get away with that? I think even the lavender definitely gets away with having the direct light. The cilantro can as well, as can the dill. But they like a lot of light. So, I mean, especially if you're going to be growing these indoors under like an LED or something along those lines, you probably want to give them at least 10 hours of light a day. with the LED because they'll just love it. They'll just do much better because of it. So you got two basils going north facing window. Very good. Yeah. Homesteads. So we got what else we got going on here? So hi, Mommy and Kimberly's. How you doing? Good to see you. Oh, Uno Who Channel is here. Travel Channel. Greetings. Nice. Yes, very hot day indeed. I'm still drinking tea. Because it's that good. Here's the aftermath of the leaves. You can't see it very well, especially if I'm moving it around that fast. There's no way you're going to see it. Have to get some light on that. The former light backlit. Ooh, scary leaf cam. Dun 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 dun. At least it makes for some fun. So, so this concoction was a lemon balm slash spearmint slash what else did I put in there? I put one other thing in there. What was it? There we go. So I have to sneak in really close in order for it to light me properly. Lemon balm, hyssop. That's what I'm forgetting. I had hyssop in there as well, which is a very light herb. If you haven't had hyssop before, it actually is a very good in a tea, and it's a very nice herb to have. So if you ever if you guys decide to expand out your herb growing ventures from the major herbs like the basil and the rosemary and the cilantro, coriander, and such like that, and go into more exotic ones, hyssop's a nice one, especially if you'd like going into teas like I do. Oh, where was I with these here? But the Tulsi basil was a very interesting one because it's most of the basils like a little bit of water to them. Ooh, and he's got some aphids on here. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's bad. I'm gonna have to give this guy a little shot here. Now I can see, you're not gonna be able to see him on there, but I can see like a couple little aphids on here. I was wondering why I was starting to see a couple of leaves looking slightly brown. Aphids. Oh man. I am gonna fight these suckers off fast because this is the first time I've gotten the Tulsi to really grow, and I don't want these suckers to have him for lunch. So I do not like aphids anytime. And since I can't have ladybugs here, I can't take care of them naturally any other way. So, well, thanks Outdoors for Nature. Take care of yourself. Have a good one. Anything else I'm missing here? No, we're all caught up on the comments so far. But yeah, the Tulsi basil generally likes it a little bit moister, which is why it's dangerous for the bugs. Is it makes it easier for them to start taking over and getting in there. I don't see any in the base here, which is good. A lot of times on some of them, especially with the ones that have longer roots, I'll start seeing some like little larvae showing up in here. So I always keep a close eye in here and at the bottom of the stems to see if any are starting to show up with those darn bugs. But the primary things I use right now is I still go mainly to the hydrogen peroxide is my number one that really likes to kill them. And then I also have a spray that is predominantly alcohol and soap, along with a little bit of water just to balance it out, because the alcohol will dry them out. It's just the same as the, I'm forgetting everything's name right now for some reason. It's probably because I'm too hot. The diatomaceous earth is the third thing that I use predominantly as well. So the diatomaceous earth, you can do a couple of things with. If you can get a little spray bottle, you can just kind of spray it on there. Or what I'll do is I'll kind of take it and sprinkle it on there. Especially with the big anthurium, I'll continually kind of sprinkle some in there because he's got so many little things that are coming out, and I could bring it over in a second, and that it's really hard to get in there and fully kill off those bugs. I mean, you can let them, of course, let it partially dry out. to help get rid of the larvae. But then the other thing is you can either put sand over the top or just put the diatomaceous earth over the top, and that normally will help kind of stop the new larvae from coming out. So yeah, just a couple of fun things with the herbs. But right now, all these guys are in a good stage. Of course, right now I'm going to take this and I'm going to splash some diatomaceous earth on them and get rid of these guys. Death to the bugs! Take that! That's what I'm talking about. Spray. Hydrogen peroxide attack. Okay. Whew. Let's grab the big guys. So I wasn't kidding. I went straight for it, and I just gave him a little bit of the alcohol sud spray, and I also gave him a little bit of the hydrogen peroxide. But you can see here, this is the anthurium. It's got lots of new flowers coming out. We'll put them on the rotating base. And he has lots of problems with the aphids constantly wanting to come out, and I have to just continually stay on this guy to keep them off of him. And so I put, like, you can maybe see down here. Oh yeah, it's going to get a little bit light. I just have to move that out of the way. Camera, there you go. You can see that down there. That's the diatomaceous earth that's in there, and I kind of just sprinkle it all around the base. And then from time to time, I'll take some and just kind of either rub it on the stems or just kind of sprinkle it over the top here. And I also go in and I'll spray with sometimes I'll take the hydrogen peroxide and just pour it in there, or I'll pour it around the base to help see if I'm killing off any of the guys that are hiding down here. Yeah, I love this anthurium. I've had him for a long time as well. Another one that'll just keep lasting year after year. And it was just this last year that he got these aphids coming out like crazy, and this stem here has got a couple on them again. Can also just go in there and squash them. Kind of nasty, but also kind of satisfying. Like, kill the aphids! Ha ha ha! Yeah, they are so difficult to manage. Not only because once you kill them off, it's easy just to get them back, either because they can regestate almost out of nowhere, or you can easily just kind of track them in from outside and not know it. They can kind of come in on your clothes. They're so small, you can just kind of miss them. And yeah, they can just come right back in again. So yeah, always have to stay vigilant with these guys and keep a close eye. And pretty much every day when I go to water, I kind of just go, anybody on there? Anybody giving me trouble? And yeah, because I wish I could get a real close up on some of these leaves, because when I see some of these leaves coming out and they're looking like a little bit more like unhappy like this compared to the sexy green ones here. And that's because of the aphids, all because of the aphids. He's completely happy other than those guys giving him trouble. So yeah, it's just a constant battle that I always have to keep on those suckers. But yeah, for the most part, he's doing really good right now. As you can see, I mean, there's at least 10, 12 flowers on here, and that's fantastic. I mean, I can't ask for more than that. At one point, when I actually did fully douse it with some of the hydrogen peroxide, a lot of the flowers kind of got burnt and died off, and that was a sacrifice I had to make in order to get the scourge of aphids that were on there off, and it worked really well. So is that aphids like the #1 problem that most of you guys have with plants? Because that's the #1 that I have. Obviously the fungus gnats is #2, or the fruit fly kind of thing. Is that the thing that you guys have the most trouble with, is those kind of things? Because I'd like to know. I know that's something, it's different for everyone, really. Oh, let's bring this guy over here. Woo! So, if you haven't seen it yet, please check out the benefits of peppermint. That's what that says hiding in there. Peppermint. But you can't see it as well because these are all so long and looking good. I should actually harvest some of these for some tea soon. So, white flies the second. I never get white flies here indoors. It's definitely one I think that happens outside a lot easier than indoors is white flies. You definitely get just indoors. It's aphids and those little black, gnats and the fruit flies that you pretty much get easily, and every all the rest of them that you can get. I know a lot of plant people can also have problems with the ones. Oh, I'm forgetting the name again. The ones that cause the little white webbing stuff. Uh, it'll come to me in a minute, but uh, yeah, those guys are really nasty too. Hmm. But you'll see two sides of the peppermint plant. Spider mites. That's it. Woohoo! Bonus to Weird Heather. Woo! Good job. Uh, you'll see two things going on here. Some wonderful, beautiful ones on this side, and then some kind of ugly ones on this side with some kind of dying leaves here. And that's because, again, of the direct sunlight. Getting just a little bit too much direct sun, and they're kind of burning them. At one point, he had some problems with some bugs, but I haven't seen any bugs on here at all as far as the aphids and stuff are concerned in ages. So I know that's just sun problems. And I kind of have to accept a little bit of that because my window, I can only protect so many. And I know the peppermint is so hardy, he's always going to regrow new stems. They're that, vigilant, and they're that good at just continually coming back that if I lose a couple of these, from the sun, it's okay. You can do that because these guys are always going to want to regrow. I should actually probably take some of these and propagate them and make a second peppermint plant because I use peppermint a lot, and especially in the teas, and I'd love to have even more than I have right here. I'm talking about them, you can't see them. I mean, what's the fun of that? So fruit flies come home from the shop when you fruit. Yeah, we have bananas a good amount, and of course that's the easiest way for getting fruit flies is they love the bananas more than anything. And you're like, they just kind of pop out of nowhere. It's one of those weird things of nature. I should do a little more research on that to find out why they suddenly gestate. I mean, obviously they must already have the connection to the fruit when you get it for in order for that to happen. Because yeah, otherwise you would never have trouble with it, would you? Man, oh man. But yeah, the peppermint and the spearmint is outside is looking great. That's what I had today was some of my fresh spearmint. And with these, actually, they're a little bit different. And I've been experimenting with it a bit more of rather than kind of cutting back to some notches on some of them, I've kind of went, okay, if they're all coming out of this same runner, I can cut pretty far back and have them regrow. Because sometimes when I cut them back, it will just kind of turn a little wilty, like this one is, where you can see these guys already falling off of there. Boom. Where the leaves just kind of go, ugh. And the ones I didn't cut off just kind of fall off anyway. So it's like, okay, well, I may as well just cut the whole thing off. And then and peppermint being the way it is, it's like, okay, I'll just grow a completely different one. So like, try and see if I can get in the camera there. This little guy right there just completely growing a brand new one on the end of that stem that I cut all the way down. So that's something with peppermint, that's the beauty of it, is it's very hard to kill once you get it going. It's a little bit hard to get started from seed. And so like with this guy, I actually did do him from seed. And the first year I didn't get much of anything off of it. And this is his second year and boo, looking good. Yeah, I actually overwintered him and he's doing just fine. Somebody driving by with some loud music. That's not me, YouTube, not my music. Don't ban me. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else to talk about with the peppermint here. But yeah, the main thing I've been experimenting with lately, since I'm surprisingly new to peppermint growing myself, is just cutting these all the way back and starting to try and do some more propagating with. You can see. Let's see if I can get it in the camera shot there. It's really hard to see because all the growth in there, but he's got this stem kind of curving over, and he doesn't tend to get runners quite the same as the chocolate mint that I have outside does. Man, that chocolate mint plant, last year he had some runners that are going from here, like hanging all the way down, like 2 feet down, just these runners coming down. And what you can do is you can cut those off and either put them in some water to let some of the roots come out, or you can plant them right away, apparently, and it'll create a whole new plant off of those runners. And it's kind of similar with the peppermint, that you can kind of take one of these runners that's hiding in here, like this one is, and cut it off. And just like a lot of the other herbs, it'll regrow a brand new one. So really cool. Ooh, let's take this over here. Oh, hey. Woo! Okay. Since I got space, might as well. Say howdy to Roopster760. Good to see you, brother. You have any tea left? Oh, yeah. So here I am with my makeshift setup. It's been working out pretty good. And I was going to take the last couple minutes just to talk a little bit about what's going on with me with the rest of my world. We're still mostly in lockdown over here in the UK. They have opened some things up, but a lot of the theater scene is still closed down. But there are some filming things that are happening. I actually did my first exterior job a week and a half ago, where I traveled up to London for the first time in 3 months, which is so weird for me, where we're so used to doing like an audition or a job or something else every week, where we travel up to London pretty much once, twice, 3, 4 times a week. And having this whole lockdown thing has been really like, what? Weird. Because we, as actors, our industry was completely shut down as compared to some other ones. We got cut off. And voiceover people have been able to hold up a little bit more because they can do stuff from home. And I haven't had much going on for that myself, but luckily we're okay overall. It's not a problem. We're doing pretty good. Thank you. Woo! And but I just did like a monster audition this week for one that's going to be filming probably in October. So things are starting to open up for some filming, it looks like, which is good. And I'm really happy about that. But that's part of the reason I started trying to do some of these lives, is to take the pressure off of me having to actually do edited videos, because they take up so much of my time. And while, yes, I'm very much still going to be doing the history videos and the benefits videos and those ones, which I know most of the people who watch my stuff want those more than anything. And looking at my analytics and from what you guys have actually told me in the polls and different things I put out and all the feelers saying, hey, which ones you like the most? The history mythology videos always is the number one. And then the benefits videos generally tend to be the number two. And yeah, but lives are fun. I've just started doing them. Yeah, I'm enjoying them. So this is a brand new thing for me. So I'm really excited about having gotten into this. And so yeah, I'll start experimenting a little bit more with doing some live action and having fun with it. Yeah, if you guys keep showing up, yeah, this will be fun. Whee! And yeah, I mean, my big YouTube quest right now is doing the extra little things that it takes to jump your channel up, and trying not to do as much one for one, where I started off doing a lot of directly connecting with the community, which is great because it means I've got to know all of you wonderful people. And I love doing that, and I'll still do that to a certain extent. But I'm trying to find those ways to go, okay, let's get YouTube to suggest my video to other people, or let's get my thing really ranked high in the searches so everybody can find it without me having to put a lot of effort or necessarily try and advertise it and pay a lot of money with it that way, or do some other marketing things, which is why I went to Liz to try and find some ways to market my video and connect it out that way and get more views. And because at the end of the day, I do this mainly for fun and to keep my skills enacted as an actor. I do love doing it as a channel now, and I really love it. I am learning search engine optimization, and I've been marketing on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Yeah, I try and use all those as well. I don't get much out of Twitter. I have watched Nick Nimmin as well, and a lot of his videos. Yeah, and there was a couple things I was trying out from him off of one of the videos I just watched from him about really focusing in on uh, making sure everything is optimized properly with your description and the title, and then having all that meshing properly. Because I have gotten really good at doing the tags. I mean, a lot of my history videos basically rank number one for what it is. So if, like, I say history of of Basil, or I say the mythology of time, I'm number one in the ranks all the time for those particular niches. So I'm doing good at covering my main niche, which is awesome. But I'm trying to also find out ways for like the benefits videos to do that as well now, because I've had a really hard time getting the benefits of peppermint to rank for some reason. And it might just because it's a much bigger category that everybody knows mint, everybody loves mint, and so it's just harder for it to rank. And so I've been trying to really tweak that one very hard to get to rank perfectly. And but obviously, yeah, the main thing is if you're going to be doing tags, is don't do single word tags. You do very specific tags that are about your actual video. So if I'm mine, it's easy because if I'm doing a history of mythology video, my tag is history of is sorry, not history of mythology, a history of mint. Then I'm going to do my tag is history of mint or mint history or you know facts about mint, anything along those lines that's regarding that. Is but you won't just say mint or history because anybody can put that in there and you're not going to rank for it. So you have to be specific about all the tags, and then YouTube picks it up a lot easier because of that. So, but I still don't really understand it properly, which is why I still watch videos for it because it's so crazy. And I'm sure you guys have that same problem. Um, and it's the thing we always say to each other where it's like, I've learned a lot, but I wish I could just go and hire someone and go, here's a certain amount of money every month, go and promote my videos for me so I don't have to try and understand this. Because I really wish I could just hand it off and just take care of my end of the business and not have to worry about the marketing end because it's such a bear. Yeah. See, he's just screeching off and running in fear right now because of the marketing. Yeah. All those crazy people on the roads. I'm surprised we haven't had lots of motorbikes driving by and causing havoc with the video so far tonight. We tend to get those a lot here, which makes filming a lot of fun. Where it's like, I just got the perfect take. Oh, no. Well, thanks, Mommy and Kimberly. I appreciate that. I'm saying I'm a great actor. Carrie's back. Woohoo! How'd it go, Carrie? Everything good with the chickens? Yep. We're happy. Oh, but we're almost at an hour here. Oh yeah. Do you know about the YouTube Creator Academy? Yeah, I've tried some of their stuff out. I found some of the stuff rather menial that I've seen it a lot of stuff before. I have to look at a few of their others to see if it's relevant for what I'm looking at now. Because what I'm trying to do now is all of those little technical things in order to get YouTube to A, pick up the video and suggest it in searches, and B, make sure everybody who is searching for stuff is seeing my stuff in the top 5 rankings. And between those, the more YouTube is immediately going and taking my stuff and going, hey, check out this guy's stuff, check out this guy's stuff, the better. So, oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Try and see if I can get myself to light up again. It's starting to get darker a little bit here where I'm getting the backlight is getting worse and worse. So I'm trying to keep myself lit as much as possible. There, now I'm lit. It's alive! Alive! Okay. I've got 2 little handy lights here that I've kind of just thrown on. next time I'll try and do some more research and see if I can get it working on the other ones. Because I can't move my desktop computer over there where the good light is. And I got normally when I'm shooting my proper videos, I got these stand-up lights which won't go behind the screen here. So I have to figure out a few more things on how to make the old live work just a wee bit better. Big clouds are coming in. Ooh. We had a lot of rain last week with a little bit of thunder and heavy rain action, which my plants were really happy about. But this week has been a scorcher, man. Really hot this week. Um, huh. Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions or whatnot? I mean, that's pretty much I covered everything I said I was going to talk about today with the orchids, and I talked about some of the herbs and stuff. Didn't talk about all the herbs and what's happening with everybody, but just a few little. It was just the idea. It was a general herb chat, and we covered what we felt like covering. Um, any other questions for our remaining folk? Mm-hmm. Stormy over. Is it Biteford or Bitterford? I'm not sure. One of those two, I think. Hmm. But little hint: my next history video is going to be the history of dandelions. Ooh, Biddeford. Okay, it is Biddeford. And so that's my next history video that's coming up really soon. I just started editing that today, so hopefully we'll have that out next week sometime. Until then, I got one coming out on Sunday that is going to be on the differences between honeybush and red rooibos. Now, a lot of people don't know about honeybush quite as much as they do about the red rooibos tea because it's one of the majors that when people think of red tea, they think of the red rooibos tea. But honeybush is a red tea as well. It's just it's very specific where it's grown, and it can mostly only be grown in the wild. So check out that video; it's very interesting the differences between the two. But honeybush is actually, in a lot of ways, much better than a lot of the other teas because its antioxidant rating is off the charts. It's badass, I'm telling you. It is good stuff, yeah. So if you've ever had honeybush or you get a chance to get some, try it out. It's actually I tend to think of it. Some people say it actually does taste a little bit like it says on the kettle, which is honey. It has a little bit of that honey sweeter flavor to the red tea. But I also find that it tends to be a little bit smoother than red rooibos, which can easily get a bit bitter if you brew it for too long. But honeybush is similar to just a standard herbal tea, where you can actually brew the sucker for 10, 20 minutes and it won't get bitter, which is great. If you accidentally forget about the tea, which I can do from time to time. Sometimes I'll brew it and they go, "Oh, I had tea over there." Ah. So yeah, that's my next video coming out on Sunday. So yeah, look forward to that, guys, and I look forward to catching up on more of your guys' videos. And yeah, unless you guys have some other questions, I'm gonna wrap up there. I've gone an hour. I'm getting tired. It's hot out here. I got to turn that fan back on so I can create some noise and get the air circulating back in here again. And I'm losing this light anyway, so I'm looking very scary right now. So, but hey, I hope you guys enjoyed my live, and it was a little bit makeshift, and I did made the best of it, I think, and very much enjoyed doing these, and we look forward to coming back again, and I'll do a little bit of work to see how I can make it work just a little bit better next time. I'm not sure if I can do it from the phone, but I'll see what I can do. If not, maybe I'll try and do it from my old ancient laptop over there and see if I can get it to work. I know the phone's a little bit trickier for some reason where you try and do it on a scheduled live. I couldn't figure out a way to get it to show up. So I know I could actually do a live and just go, okay, let's go live. Boom, we're live. But I couldn't figure out how to go, oh, you have it scheduled? Yes, let's connect to that. Weird. Why they won't let you do it? I don't know. But hey, that's what it is. You guys take care of each other. Have a good one. Thanks so much for being here. See you next time. Woo! Have a great evening, Roopster, Carrie, Weird Heather, anybody else who is still hiding in the room. Till next time. Woo! Uh, oh, the heat. The heat. Here goes. Ending the stream now.